Iran launching a fresh round of strikes tonight. You can see
Trump
them
has
streaming
left the
through the night
G7
sky
summit
over
in
Tel
Canada
Aviv.
early
Explosions
because of the
rattling
continuing
city.
crisis in the Middle East.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Daily Dose of News. I'm here to break down what's happening around the world, and honestly, it's quite the lineup today. We're starting with some absolutely massive breaking news that has the entire world watching. Starting with the Middle East, buckle up because things have been absolutely wild over there. President Trump announced what he's calling a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, describing it as a great honor to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities and then broker peace. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nuclear facilities destroyed? Yes, apparently that happened. Here's what went down. After intense missile exchanges between the two countries, with Iran retaliating against Israeli military sites and cities, Trump stepped in to negotiate this ceasefire deal. Because nothing says peace talks quite like obliterating nuclear sites first, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Both Israel and Iran immediately started accusing each other of violating the ceasefire just hours after it took effect. Trump was not having it, reportedly using some colorful language to tell both countries to knock it off. The ceasefire does appear to be holding now, though intelligence reports suggest the strikes on Iran's nuclear program may not have been as complete as initially claimed. Meanwhile, the situation in Gaza continues. Al Jazeera reports that despite the Israel-Iran ceasefire holding, Israeli operations in Gaza have resulted in over 41 casualties. Because apparently, one conflict at a time is just too simple. Moving to Europe, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy is in The Hague right now, making his case to NATO leaders. And honestly, the timing couldn't be more critical. Russian missile attacks have killed at least 11 people in southeastern Ukraine just this week, with reports of 26 civilian deaths and hundreds injured in recent strikes. Zelenskyy isn't just asking for thoughts and prayers here, he's pushing for concrete guarantees of continued Western support. NATO has consistently stated that Ukraine's future is in the alliance and continues providing unprecedented support. But with the conflict dragging on, Ukraine needs those promises locked in stone, not just good intentions. The numbers are staggering, by the way. New analysis suggests Russia is approaching 1 million casualties and has been performing poorly on the battlefield overall. So you'd think they might want to reconsider their strategy, but here we are. Now, shifting to domestic news, and this one's heartbreaking. In Pittsburgh's Crafton Heights neighborhood, 18-year-old Isaiah Brewer was shot and killed Tuesday morning. Another person was also injured in the same incident. This happened in broad daylight, and it's yet another reminder of the gun violence crisis we're dealing with across the country. The Middle East situation is particularly fascinating from a diplomatic standpoint. Trump's ceasefire involved two 12-hour periods, starting with Iran winding down operations. It's an unusual approach, bombing first, negotiating second. But if it prevents further escalation, most people would probably call that a win. The challenge now is whether this ceasefire actually holds long-term, or if we're just in a temporary lull before the next round of tensions. Both Israel and Iran have demonstrated they're willing to push boundaries, even hours after agreeing to peace. As for Ukraine, with Russian troops still occupying about 20% of Ukrainian territory and millions of people displaced, Zelenskyy's push for stronger NATO commitments makes complete sense. You can't fight a war of this scale on maybes, and we'll see. That's your Global Conflict Roundup for today. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, in times like these, reliable information is more important than ever. We'll keep tracking these stories as they develop, because unfortunately, they show no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Stay safe out there, news junkies, and remember, when the world gives you chaos, make a YouTube video about it. Peace out.